and welcome back to the Beginner's Save. And we are here currently at Ipswich. We romped the title in the Championship last season, and now we are starting the transfer window. We have made some signings early on. We needed to do that, and I have to remind myself, since I wasn't here, I wasn't available on Wednesday, I have to remind myself what exactly we have done. And we have brought some players in. We do have some players waiting to come in, but just quickly remind myself what we have done. We brought in Scott McKenna. Scott McKenna, a centre-back. I believe that he is good enough to help us to survive in the Championship, in the Premier League next season. And then we brought in a winger. We've changed the system, so we needed to bring in a winger, and we've brought in Jason. And I think that with his mentals, he's got good mentals for a winger. He's also quite a technical player, and I think he'll probably do a nice job. Can play across the attacking midline, can also play in that midfield right, which is where I really need him to play. So we brought in Jason. Again, we brought him in on a free. Taylor Harwood-Bellis came in on a free. He's a very good player in FM, and I think he's got the right mentals, the right physicals to help us survive as well. And then Castiles, a goalkeeper. Excellent goalkeeper. We brought him in on a free, which was excellent. They're all kind of like 30s, but then they have the mentals that we need to help us survive. In terms of the club vision, they're not too unhappy about the players that we've signed. They're satisfied with the signing of players under the age of 23. We need to improve that a little bit, but we need definitely to improve the squad. We've changed the system, and each time we bring in a player, we can then see how that improves the team. Harwood-Bellis is a great improvement. The goalkeeper's a great improvement. Jason also is a very good improvement. Scott McKenna should be here somewhere. There he is, unavailable for this match, but will improve the team, and we will start to get ourselves a very decent defence. I've focused on trying to improve ourselves at the back, and so far so good. I now need to look at the midfield. We're light in midfield, and we are possibly in need of a left winger, someone who can play across the lines there, and a forward. We do have money left, and we have almost 30 million left, although the wage budget is struggling. I need to also find players who need to be sold. There are a number of players. I don't want to sell Wes Burns because he is a right winger. He's also quite happy at the moment, and I don't want to sell him. Other players could go out. So at the moment, it's a very small squad. We're only going to be playing 40-something games, 42 games. We don't need a massive squad. So at this point, I don't really want to panic. We just want to go through the pre-season and test the tactic, see how the tactic's working, tweak the tactic, and just make sure and that things are working, and then the scouts will bring to my notice good players, bad players. We will get a lot of suggestions. In your first season, your first transfer window, having been promoted, you're going to get a lot of players offered to you. And don't panic. And just keep an eye on them. Jason Shackleton. Now we're getting midfielders. We have to know if he fits our system. He can also play as a right back, but I'm not too impressed with him. Poor decisions. Physically, he's not great. Tackling and marking, he can't do particularly well. So we'll just pass him by. See if there's any others. No, that's it. Talks rubbish. There's no take. Oh, they're always, hey, Neil, how you doing? There's always some talk of takeovers. Just ignore that. Matthias Roberts I don't think that he's in my plans. Where is he? Matthias Roberts. Don't think he's particularly in my plans. As yet, 19 years old, definitely not good enough. So we will offer him out for loan. And we have a friendly coming up. We just want to keep an eye on how the tactic is working. I know a lot of people will tell you, don't worry, just instant result them or go on holiday. You don't need to bother about the friendlies, but I play them in extended highlights because I want to see how the tactic's working out, and then I can tweak it if it's not. And he looks like a decent prospect. And if I go to my squad planner, I don't use this too much, look at my defenders left, then I am definitely in need of a left back. But I'm not going to sign the first ones that come along. So he has made an offer for him, 6 million. That's 6 million out of my cash. And while I desperately need a left back, do I really want Tyneman? He's probably not going to make a decision yet, so we'll leave that. And we can always cancel it later on if somebody better comes along. And training camp, I'm just going to auto-select and include youth prospects. Basically just to get a bench. And that's if I try to do that, I'll probably leave myself without a bench. And we're still signing staff, or trying to sign staff. We have a dreadful staff for the Premier League, but that's not my job. Remember, I'm not doing all these things. All I'm doing in terms of staff is renewing the contracts. Hiring the staff is not my job. Ward set to sign as a scout. And I think that we did look for some scouts and we found some good scouts. And so more and more, remember that they have experience. You're thinking, oh, it's 9th of July. And they're not going to have time to go out and scout, but they have tons of experience, and so they're going to suggest players based on their experience. So we'll ask them to recommend a signing. And Santiago Sosa, who is he? He's a central midfielder. He's the kind of boy that I want. Cheap. We didn't pay a lot for him. He's the kind of person that I want. Why is he the kind of person that I want? His mentals. And he's very, very brave. I'm going to be playing in a low block. And so I want brave people there. I want people who can tackle a mark. He's not brilliant, but he'll be good enough. He's got good mentals and his physicals look okay. His pace is no good, but I probably don't want him going anywhere from there. And can play as a deep line playmaker. He's not got the best passing and vision, but for going up to the Prem, he's probably going to do a pretty good job. I'll just work through these. Attacking mid can play across the line, can play vertically as well. Future signing, his technicals are not bad. It's his mentals that worry me. He's not very brave, no determination. Positioning is poor, his bravery isn't very good. No aggression, no strength. Those are the kind of things that would worry me about him. How to play against a team that plays control possession style. Okay, there is a video on how to play a team that plays control possession style. And that is if you go to my channel page and go to FM24 in-game management playlist, you'll see a video which is called 2 videos, Learn Your Lines. And they will tell you, one of them, the second one, is how to play against control possession. It is the hardest one of all to play against. It's just slightly harder than the tiki-takas. It is very, very difficult to play against, and I've tried to explain how I do it. With a bit of luck, we'll come across someone who plays control possession today. Unlikely, because of the teams that we're playing. Control possession is played by teams who are good teams, because they have to be able to pass. They need good off the ball. They need great teamwork. They need huge amounts of stamina. They need to be able to press really well. And control possession is difficult to play. And so the teams that play it will be very good teams. And they will play across the pitch. They will focus their attacks across the pitch. They will stretch the pitch very wide. But there is a way to do it. And I have done a video on it already. So check out that video, Marcus. And if we come across control possession, you'll see how we do that. He is a very good option, that boy. Alex Sola, very good right winger. I've got good right wingers. I don't know if I need another good right winger on that side. Let's just bear him in mind in case Wes Burns goes. So we'll put him in the midfield shortlist for a few months. There's another good player. They will look at bringing... They will recommend players, left winger. Probably definitely need, I just identified before coming in that I will need a good left winger. So we'll add him to the shortlist. And he will go in as an attacker. So we'll add him to the attack shortlist. He's a good player, and he will probably do a very, very good job. He's cheap as well. And so we could bring him in. Who is this? Roberts. I don't think he's in my plans for the season, no. So we could probably accept those. He's accepted them. And he's a winger. No, he's not the one that I was looking at. So, again, don't panic. The game is going to try and make you panic. It's going to say, oh, Luton of blah, blah, blah. You've just identified someone, added him to your shortlist, and suddenly the game says, oh, offers are coming for him. Don't panic. There will be better players. And that's bad news because I'm very light in midfield, even in pre-season. Marcus Harness is going out if we can get 9.5 million for him. Unlikely. He's not very good. So, well, in FM, I'm not going to say that about real life, but in FM, he didn't do a very good job. Rewrite. Hey, Tails, how you doing? You just started a 94. Whoa, boy. So you're going to have it's all going to be... It's retro database. I thought perhaps you'd gone into the future, but you've gone into the past. Well, good luck with that. A lot of people have asked me to do retro, but I've got so much to do. I'm working on the Man United rebuild at the moment, and I've got so much to do. I've also got another couple of things to do. Somebody sent me a tactic and said, why is it not working? So we fixed that, and that needs to go out on a video. We'll scout him. We'll just send someone out to have a look. And then I just need to look at the tactic now. There's plenty of players, even though we are getting towards the end of July. Do we want to bring him in? He's coming in as a squad player, so that would be quite good. 4.8 million, that solves my left back problem. 25 years old, I think he's probably a good squad player. So let's... I need someone who's deputy to Leif Davis who can play the same way as Leif Davis. So probably a good player to bring in. Not asking for anything. Let's suggest that he wants 22. I don't like these release clauses, but it is what it is. I could have got rid of that. Let's go back up. Let's offer him 19.75, and he's gone for that. That's fine. It's going to put me over budget again in terms of the wage budget, but hopefully we'll sell someone very soon. Good morning, Mercury. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Daytime streams. Do you watch a lot of daytime streams, Tails? I just decided to do this just as an experiment to see what would happen. I don't do anything in the day apart from watch 5 USA. I'm getting a bit fed up of the repeats. And I just decided, let's try it and see if we can get people viewing in the day. I was concerned there'd be nobody because people obviously work, but we've had a few over the last few weeks. We've had a few. I think curious as to why we're getting the results we're getting. Oh, it's that's where you are in Bangkok at 7 p.m. All right. I will be in that part of the world very soon, in a couple of months, for 6 weeks. Not in Bangkok. I'm not going to Bangkok. I know Bangkok quite well, but I'm going to Vietnam and to the Philippines. Who is this? See, now we've got a problem that we've got another left back coming in. I wasn't aware that had happened. That's a big problem. I wasn't aware that had happened. So I don't think he's as good as Josh Timon. He's quite good though. His wages are small. Timon probably is going to want to play more. Is he as good as Timon? Timon's slightly better, but as a squad player, Timon is eating up more of the wage budget. Yeah, let's go with Timon, and let's cancel this one. We don't need him. We've got 2 very good left backs hopefully coming in. Probably made the wrong choice because now the other one will probably turn me down. But again, don't panic. What I don't like about this is it doesn't tell you their position, so you have to look at it. A striker we do need, but is he good enough? Probably not. Probably not good enough. Italian attacking midfield, probably not good enough. That's why he's available on a free. Another one. Central defender. Maybe. Lots of good players are starting to come out of the woodwork now. And if you don't panic, Koulibaly available on a free. So if you don't panic, then you'll find lots of good players. I'm interested in him. We'll put him in midfielders. And we desperately are short in midfield. So I don't want the data hub. What am I looking for? Desperately short in midfield. Cameron Humphrey. So I actually only have 2 available for that now. And only 2 available. I need to bring in 2 midfielders. Paolo Maldini's son, the one I said was not good enough. Daniel Maldini. For me, he simply isn't good enough. For an attacking mid, his passing and vision are not good enough. His mentals are not good enough. Nah, he's not good enough. But there's plenty of Italians here. And we have plenty of... Another one here on a free. Striker. It's probably not good enough. But they are starting to come in. Too much money. Too much money. So they're starting to come in. And even here you can see the amount. Argentina, there are 2 recommendations. That's Sosa, who I'm very interested in. And if I go to my tactic, I'm looking for a DLP here. So I need to be patient in terms of he can play as a DLP. And I love the fact that he can tackle, he can mark to a degree. He's got the bravery I need. It's not to say that we can't change that DLP role. Another goalkeeper, very good goalkeeper. Europe, plenty of players coming in. He looks quite good for 6.6 million, but we don't know what position he plays. Attacking mid, centre mid. A better looking player and can play on the left wing. A better looking player than we saw last time. Redondo, if he turns up on the scouting list, is an extremely good signing. I kind of wonder, should I sign Anthony Martial, 28 years old, advanced forward. You know, he's a kind of player. If we have a look at his reports, how much did he play? We're not getting very good reports on them. I'm just wondering, is he available for a loan? Let's go and have a look. He is available for loan. 160,000 per month. What is that per year? So it's only a million. 1 million, no, almost 2 million a year. So it's like buying him for 2 million and his wages be 20,000. We have an optional future fee. If he has a really lousy season, then we... I'm going to make an offer on him. Let's suggest the terms. They want a little bit more in terms of the wages. We'll see if we can get that down. We're not going to get that down at the moment. Is there anything else that I can do? Let's up this a little bit and see if that does it. Nah. We're only willing to pay 60% of his wages. My light is not functioning at the moment. It has a habit of going on and off, so bear with that. So we'll put that back on. Oh, we're not going to get this, are we? Nah. Just cancel that offer for now. We're not going to get him. May probably be a good thing, may be a bad thing. Who knows? But we're just not able to offer the wages that they want. The other thing that I can do is to just keep that coming down, but I want to try and keep that if I can. 27 will give me 800. Well, that takes me, that gives me 40,000. I've still got 27 million to play with. Why am I signing a medical centre director? Am I? And how are you doing? Yeah, and it was very kind of you to recommend players. But one of the things that I don't want to do is to just go on recommendations or to go on players that I know myself. Basically, I've got a team of scouts, and I want them to scout players, and whatever they give me is what they give me. And that way, if you do it that way, you'll find hidden gems, absolute hidden gems that you can sign. If you just sign players you know, you're going to miss those. And I like the look of this guy as well. I like the look of him a lot. Look at the price. It's incredible. And 13, he's currently earning 13. He's probably going to cost us 20 in wages. Like the look of that. So although he doesn't have great pace, it doesn't really matter. So we'll just go with what our scouts are recommending. Is he a DM as well? And we'll scout him. I'm desperate for midfielders. Who is this guy? Florian Flick. Not a deep line playmaker, so he's no good to me. And you'll find players who are good in that position, but if they... Ooh, Liam Delap. Now, I wonder, can we loan Liam Delap? I wonder if it's possible. They'd want a playing wage. The wages are good. Wages are pretty good. My striker is not good enough. Be alright as a backup. Let's go with that. Let's get Liam Delap in on loan. Then it kind of like looks like the current Ipswich team. And I don't know who I'm going to play in midfield for this one. I have a big problem in midfield. Taylor and Luongo are the only ones I have, and I don't know who I've got on the bench. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. In terms of our tactic, we're playing in a low block. Seems silly against these lower teams, but they have to get used to it. The familiarity is not great at the moment, and they've got to play it. Even though they want to be more attacking, they've got to get used to this. I'm going to ask them to regroup as well. Kind of like what Amarin is doing in training at Manchester United. He's trying to get his boys, like, he's getting them to lose the ball high up the pitch, and then he's getting them to sprint back to the goal line. He's teaching them, I want you to run back. Everybody runs back. And that's what regroup is. He could just say in his interviews, I'm telling them to regroup. He wants them to get back. When they lose the ball, get back into your defensive shape as fast as possible. This is not going to be a good team. We're going to play... This standard passing is probably more direct than I'm used to. In other words, I want to get the ball up the field as quickly as possible. No restrictions on them in terms of their final third. And I just want them to dribble less and be more disciplined. Basically follow the team instructions and you'll be all right. Try to do things yourself and you probably won't be okay. So, got an injury. Where did you see that, Tails? I don't, I'm going to turn the sound off. Because I've been working on that, save my tactic. I just got another message actually this morning, which was really cool. somebody said, I found your videos and thought I'd see what you've got to offer, what you've got to bring to the table. Very sort of like cynical. And said, boy, oh boy, you just saved my save. So that was very nice that he took the time after being cynical to to actually write to me and say thank you very much. Go out there and give me a headache. The more I play with the lines, the more it seems to work. I mean, I do know one thing. We should be playing more positive, and I think probably I want to be playing with a high line. I think this is a team we should be beating, and we should give ourselves half a chance of scoring goals. I think we should be. The low block does not mean that you are not going to attack. Mentality is what will define how often you attack. Everything is about balance of risk. I want them to get back into shape when they lose the ball, so that they're better placed when they lose the ball, and hopefully we won't give away too many goals in transition. But the mentality means that when we go forward, we will go forward. We just won't attack as much as we normally do because of the low block. And because we are getting into defensive positions, we're not bothered with this half of the pitch at all. And so that means we're not going to be winning the ball just outside their penalty area, that we're going to be building from here. Now, there's a long way to go from here, and that means that goals are going to be fewer. If there was a shorter distance to go, then we'd create more chances. And that's basically balance of risk. Positive means that my players will take more risks going forward, but they've still got a long way to go. Positive means that we perhaps will be caught out of position sometimes, but we should be able to deal with this team. So and I'm just looking at, is the tactic working? Is the passing working? Do the positions look good? I'm concerned about the midfield positions. There's an awful lot of space between the two. There shouldn't be that space. They should be fairly close together, but they're not. He's not functioning very well. And he should be much closer together. But we're creating chances, and we should score eventually. Just get one or two on target, we'll be okay. These two are a little bit far apart for my liking. That's better. They should be much closer together. He shouldn't be going too far from his partner here. And that's much, much better. Could be closer together. Could be. It could be that he's just not used to playing there. And there's the goal. And what you find about this 4-1-2-2-1 tactic that is available is that there is going to be space on that right-hand side. Overloads are going to happen on that right-hand side. Very nice. Very nice. So tactically it seems to be working quite nicely. What I do need is personnel. The tactic seems to be working quite nicely. Come on, boys. Let's have a romping victory here. And the reason why I play smaller teams like this is because I want them to get used to winning. Winning is a habit. And I want them to get used to winning matches. I have got some big games. Later on, we're playing Benfica later on as well. That's when we will actually put it to the test. When we've practiced it, when we've got used to winning, then we will put the tactic and the personnel to the test against a big team like Benfica. And we're definitely in control here. We are getting a lot of shots from outside the box. Am I worried about that yet? Not yet. We're still getting some shots on target. We've hit the crossbar and the post. So am I worried about the shots from outside the box? Not yet. But for me, there is an issue in that these two are too far apart. And it might be that he's on support as it is. So if I put him on attack, he's going to be much further forward. We've hit the bar again. That's hitting the bar and the post continually is telling you there's something wrong with your lines. And if I were actually to push the lines up, then we'd probably stop hitting the bar and the ball would go in. Visually, that's what it's telling me. The lines are wrong. Attacking line definitely is wrong. We should be further up the pitch. But as I said, I need this team to get used to playing in the low block. They're going to be playing this a lot. And there we go. Again, down the right-hand side. You get a lot of overloads. A lot of goals come from the right-hand side. And another one. We have a 3-on-2 here now. And we have bodies in the box. So this 4-1-2-2-1 is a very, very good tactic. Looking at the team shape, though, on the chart, it looks very good. It looks very, very good. The team shape looks extremely good. And we're now 3-0 up. Who is that? Is he the new centre-back? No, he's the left-back, isn't he? He's a young boy. No, he's not young. He's 24. Interesting. I've not heard of him. I thought he might be one of the youngsters. Deputising for Leif Davis. He's got himself on the score sheet. He's probably not going to be around for long because I don't need him. So, we shall just continue with this. Looking at my line, looking at my midfield. We have a good block here. And the lines are close together. They're very close together. We have a very good block. Almost. And so it's working. He's young compared to... Who else? He's young compared to me, Mercury. Anybody's young compared to me. I went for some blood tests. I'm such a klutz sometimes. I went for some blood tests yesterday. I got there early and I'm sitting in the waiting room on the chair waiting to be called. And I'm just on the phone. And I'm not really focused. And suddenly out of nowhere I hear my name and I jumped up and twisted my knee. So I'm like, oh God, I am getting old. And the nurse actually said, ouch, I saw the pain in your face then. And I'm like, oh God, I am getting old. And you can actually see here in this chart that we are focused our play down the right. This tactics creates a ton of opportunities for your players down the right. I don't know why it creates those overloads. I think it's because everybody drifts over to the left, leaving a 2-on-1 on that side. And it's happened again. And we've got another one. When the ball comes out this side, all the defence drifts out here. You can see all 4 of them have come out here. Leaves tons of space over here. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. That's what I thought. What was your first club you ever played in FM? It was 2011. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. Manchester United, I'd heard, were overpowered. So I played with Manchester United. And I played like all year with Manchester United out of total fear of the game. I had no idea what I was doing. I do remember I signed centre back. I think his name was Burton, and he scored goal after goal after goal, and he was like getting 22 goals from corners each season. I think they stopped this insane central defenders getting goals from corners in about 2014, maybe 2013. But at that time, he was just banging them in from corners. 22 goals a season, 24 goals a season. And that was the first team I played with, just totally out of fear. I didn't know anything about the game. It took me 4 years to actually figure this game out. I had no idea what I was doing. And that's why I call it the FM 4-year probation. You eventually, though, do come to figure it out. And I've never played Manchester United since. I'm a fan of Man United, and I've never actually managed the club in FM since that first year. But when Amarin came in, I was very interested to see how he was setting them up. And he's having major problems coaching them. And it's going to be really... Oh, what a strike. It's going to be really difficult for him. And I kind of wanted to see if I could emulate that. And so I thought, after the journeyman save has finished, we're going to be continuing on until 25 comes out with the rebuild, Amarin's rebuild. I don't intend to sign any players. We'll do a database download, and I'm not going to sign any players, and we'll just see what we can do with the players that he's got. That's going to be as tough a job for anyone as I've ever seen, because the players don't want to run back. They do it for 20 minutes, and then they're like, oh no, I don't want to do this. And Ten Hag had the same problem. He wanted to play a very high pressing game, and he had the same problem. He was like, he could not get them to run around at all. It's just kind of depressing, really. And that was a bit depressing. That defensive work was poor. And that's because, let's face it, we do not have the best defence in the world. And this defence is going to make mistakes. That's why mostly I'm going to play with a standard line or a lower line to give them more time when the ball comes to them, so they're not making mistakes. Ndaba is tired now. At half-time we need to take him off, although he's recovered a little bit. But I think it would be a good idea to take him off. If I've got anybody on the bench who can play there. Boy, oh boy, I've got a defender right. Where's Leif Davis when you need him? I think he might be injured. Oh, FM, you deliberately do this, don't you? Can Clark go across to the left? No, he can't. You deliberately do this when I don't have a left back to come in. So the one person who's tired is the one place I can't. Well, he's still got a little bit of puff left in him, so he can play on for a minute or two, 15 minutes. Oh boy. FM, don't you just love it? I was just wondering, lots of people always ask me, what's your favourite version? I was just going to ask you guys the same question. What is your favourite version of FM, and why is it your favourite version? What year did you enjoy the most? So I'm going to ask the question to you this time rather than me, because by now you know what mine is. Oh, unlucky. What was your favourite version, guys? Be interesting to find out rather than talk about mine. Mine, of course, you know, is FM22. And I've said the reasons so many times. What is your favourite version, guys? Which one would you go back to and play? It might be FM24. Some of you might think FM24 is the best that's ever been. I don't, but you might. I mean, FM24 is it's a good game, and some of the animations are very good. I'm still waiting to score a goal from a bicycle kick, and that was a good shot as well. And the ball actually comes off the post and bar in a much more realistic way than it used to. So FM24 is a good version. It's just the match engine has been messed with so much over the last 2 years. I think the coding's got a bit messed up and some things don't work properly. So, yeah, I mean, he is getting tired now, isn't he? I can't justify keeping him on for much longer. And we've scored again. I do like playing against teams like this, because it does make me feel better, and these boys get used to winning. I think we can go to key highlights now. We don't need to see the lot. I can see, looking at the shape, I am a little bit concerned, and I'm going to make a little tweak. Looking the shape, the midfielders might be too far apart because he's on a defend duty. So I'm going to ask him to play on a support duty. And see if we can get him closer to the other midfielder. Now, the problem I've got with that is that if he does go closer to the other midfielder, I leave space in front of my back two. That is going to be the problem. FM will tell me if it's a problem. But I want to see them closer together. For this to work, they've got to be winning the ball as a unit. And that means they need to be closer together. They've made some changes, so I'll just quickly go and ask my assistant what he thinks about that. Come on, boys. Easy peasy. And there's another one. Always with this tactic, you're going to find goals coming from here. Massive overloads here. And I think it is because it starts out on the left. Again, it starts out on the left. And they're all going to drift. They're all going to drift over here to the left-hand side. And look what happens. They've got two defenders here. And we have a 3-on-2. There's an absolute overload going on here. He doesn't know where to go. And we have a 3-on-2, and they're in total chaos, and we score again. And that's why this tactic works, because the focus seems to be down the left, and they all drift across, and then we have an overload on the right-hand side. It's probably the best tactic that I've ever come up with. And it was total accident, I think, why I did it. I couldn't get the 4-2-3-1 to work, and I couldn't get a 4-4-2 to work, so I just squeezed them together, and that's what came out. And just works absolutely brilliantly. Now I'm going to put Ryan Carr, I think, on this side as a fullback. Or maybe... What about Jambang? Yeah, he can play on the left-hand side. And I don't actually envisage them beating us now. I think we're okay. And we just take a few more off. I don't have any midfield cover, but do I have any young boys who might deserve a game? We could play him. Lots of potential. We'll give him a game, actually. Lots of potential. He's very young. So he can come in there for Taylor. And Harry Clark is also struggling. I did have a defender right, didn't I? So Ryan Carr can come on here. Connor Chaplin can be replaced with Harness. I'd like to sell Harness. He'll bring in a lot of money, which would be really useful. I still have Chaplin who can play there, and it means that I can bring in a really decent attacking mid. We shall see. And up front, who have I got up front? Who's Ahadame? Let's give him a game. Let's give him a game. I don't know where my main players have gone. I should have just changed the bench. We'll leave it at that for now. We will see what happens. I mean, I can't see them getting back into the game. But because what I've done is pushed that deep line playmaker a little bit further forward, I might struggle now with the standard line in defence. We'll just have to see. Probably not in this game, but I'm hoping that FM will show me an example of where we might be leaving space behind the DLP. Against bigger clubs, we'll play him as a defender. Maybe against smaller clubs, we play him on a support duty. Now that's not going to harm anybody. He tried to get round the back, but couldn't get round the back. Let's make it 9, boys. I want you to get used to winning comfortably, scoring tons of goals. And I definitely need to work on midfield next. We do have the cash to do it. And if we can get Delap in, what a signing that is. Oh, nearly. Again, everything seems to come down that right-hand side. It's an absolutely exceptional tactic. As we come up to 80 minutes, we'll change the rest of them. In fact, we might as well do it now. Stop them getting injuries. I haven't got anybody who can sit in there. Can Roberts play as a DM? No, he can't play as a DM. Can one of my defenders play as a DM? Nope. Ryan Carr can play as a DM. So Luongo may have to keep going. Let's try Baggett and Burgess. Got a right winger here. Yes, we have Matt Ward. I've got no idea who these players are. And I've got a left winger who can come on here. I guess that's it. If we really are weakening the team there. And that just goes to show how small the squad is. And I'm looking at this, and it hasn't improved much. But then it hasn't had time to improve. We only did it 20 minutes ago. He is a little bit higher up than what he was. He was right on the central defender there, so he's a little bit higher up. And I need to close that gap. Definitely need to close that gap. 42 shots, 20 on target, not good enough. And it might be I have to work the ball into the box on. But not yet. Not yet. Right, for 3 days the focus is on who's coming in. Liam Delap is coming in. And that's good news. A chat with Adame. I don't know why a replacement for what? He's not very good. Hands in a transfer request. Loads of people interested. Let's offer him via the transfer room. He's only 300,000. Get him off my books. Get him out of my head. Oh, he's rejected it because they only offered 62,000. That's the problem with FM. Even if you've got a cheap player for sale, they're not going to offer. You, on the other hand, have to offer way over the odds. He's a cultured midfielder. Oh, so he is. But I'm afraid his... oh, now he is someone I would love to get in. Centre mid on attack. What a player. But probably his wages are going to be way more. He's not interested. What a shame. But it is Ipswich after all. His wages would probably be far more than we could afford. And Timon has come in. We'll take that one. It's going to hit us in the wage budget again. But the fans are happy. Everyone's happy. Except for the bank. They're not very happy. So that number of 28 million or 29 million seemed like a nice number. We don't need to do that yet. Seemed like a very nice number, but because the wage budget is so low, and if we can't sell players... Wilfred Kanga. I don't need a striker now. We're going to put our trust in Delap. Look at this nonsense. Very, very poor. Anybody like a 5? And these are first team players. Accommodating was his response. Where's Burn? 5.95. Very happy to be criticised. Did him? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Let's get his morale up as well. Connor Chaplin. If you are popping in, and you do want to have a play with that 4-1-2-2-1, it is available on the channel somewhere to download. Do you have any tips to properly scout players? Yeah, and I do need to do a video on that, but I don't tend to do my own scouting, because doing YouTube, you have to get things done quickly. But yeah, there's so many different ways, and I do need to do a video on that. I just go to my staff and scouting, and I just give them the responsibility to do it. They do. I mean, this girl I brought in, Helen Acosta, she's an exceptional chief scout. Absolutely exceptional. And the number of players, and I'm just leaving it to her, and the number of good players that they are finding, it's scary. Absolutely scary. They are finding, players that are absolutely amazing. He's not that good, but here's another one. 800,000. I mean, these are exceptionally good players. Doesn't fit what I want to do quite. But But she's doing an excellent job, and probably doing a better job than I would. Here's another guy up for free, central defender. Would be a superb signing. He's probably, you're looking at a very good squad player there. So they are finding players. It's really scary what she's actually doing. So find a good chief scout, and Helen Acosta is a exceptional chief scout. I brought her in the beginning of last year, and she will do the job for you. There's lots of this game that is broken now. Training is broken for sure, and there's just lots of this game that's broken. So just get your staff to do it. He's waiting on his work permit. I'll be happy for him to come in. And probably I will want to play him as a centre mid rather than as a DLP. His passing and vision are not great, but we're waiting as well on Delap. I will use the suggested squad, and then I'll have a look at the bench, see if he's left anything off. Still not very good. Who is Vata? Wolfenden has been left off because he's tired. Harry Clark the same. Scott McKenna has been left off. So what I need to do is make sure I can... So I do have Leif Davis now. I want to play Leif Davis rather than Timon. And where's Harry Clark? I need him on the bench. Cool. Who are these players? He can come on for Jam Bang. Ladapo. I've never heard of these players. Twanzabi's unavailable because why is he not? Strange decision. Ipswich. Oh, that never happens. Sasa has been granted a work permit and he can come to the club. I don't know how good he's going to be. He certainly fancies himself. 25 years old. He's not going to improve that much. He's got, for me, he's got the mentals that I'm looking for. I need mentals. And he can play as a deep line playmaker. He's not great as a deep line playmaker, but what I like is that he can tackle and he's brave. He's aggressive. Yeah, so he'll do a good job, I think. I hope. So I might actually give him a run out now. He's just come off the plane. We'll put him on the bench and give him 30 minutes at the end. I've just got FM24 and it's much better than... yeah, Hydrox, the console game is a little bit dumbed down. No, a new contract is not on the... Oh. Another one wanting a new contract. I'm not going to give you just because you've asked for one. No, I'm not going to say that and upset him. This isn't the time. Ah, got ya. You're an influential member of the squad, and I didn't expect this kind of behaviour from you. Got it. Oh, talk about a lottery. He's made another offer for another left back. When I have Leif Davis and Timon now. So we don't need another left back. Unless he knows that the match engine is going to injure my left backs during the season. That's the one I've just... Oh, he's a forward. Let's scout him. I don't think he's quite got it. His first touch isn't good enough. Although he has a lot. He's actually made an offer for him. Good Lord. Heavens above. Dribbling, first touch isn't brilliant. I need those 3 to be good. He's got decent mentals. But his concentration is terrible. And I don't need a forward. Because Delap is coming in and we still got Hurst. No offers for Adami. I don't know what happens when you go into this meeting and say, go and find your own club. I don't know what actually happens. Do they then start phoning up people? Like, oi, will you take me on? It just seems a little strange that. I really don't know what would happen in real life when you do that. It would be rather odd. Okay, so why are we leaving all these players out who need fitness, like Wes Burns? Like Harry Clark. Although he's doing well in terms of fitness. I just wonder who my spare right back... I do need a right back, don't I? Not a left back. Harwood Bellis is a right back. So let's play Harwood Bellis. Jason can come on to the bench. McKenna can come on to the bench. Broadhead instead of Boswell, who I don't even know who he is. And Connor Chaplin for Adami. That's probably a better bench. So how do you, Hydrox, how do you find the difference? Is it better, do you think, than console? One of the things that I said in my video about the delay of FM25 is that I do worry that the PC game is going to become an also available on the PC, and that they're going to take out so many things, they're going to dumb it down so much that it's going to, well, certainly for me, it's probably going to lose its appeal. I'm worried it's going to become a toy, in a sense. It does worry me. Like in 10 years, what you might find is it's a total console game, which is also available for PC. And it's just going to be fancy graphics. That's all it's going to be. They're going to take out the art, the skill. Because they want the 12 to 14-year-old or 10 to 14-year-old audience. They want the mobile gamers, because most of the players playing this game are on mobile. So they want to dumb everything down. Will it become too easy? Who knows what's going to happen? It does worry me, though, that it's just going to become pretty graphics. And much of the skill element will be gone. Now, what did we do? We needed to put him on a support duty. So we'll do that early. He's injured already. Good Lord. Looks like he has to come off. Attacking mid is injured. Chaplin can come in. Better player. So they shouldn't have injured him. So now I'm looking at the two midfielders, and you can see now how much closer they are together. So just that little tweak has brought those two crucial midfielders much closer together. They'll be able to work much better together and hopefully win the ball for us. And I think we're going to murder this team. I think it's Benfica's seconds. And they're playing like it. But that's good for me at this early stage. I want them to score goals, get used to playing this way, and feel good. So don't worry about playing against weaker opposition. It's good for morale. It's good for learning the tactic you want them to play. And you can, clearly see now these two boys are much, much closer together, which is what I want. I want them absolutely in each other's pockets. There you go. And they will work as a unit now. And again, it starts out on the left, comes out to the right. And there's another one. That's how this tactic works. It's absolutely brilliant. Starts on the left, little switch. We had an overload, cross, bang, goal. It's just so easy. I love it when it works. We got like players in the box now. There's nothing they can do. Low cross, bang. And one of the things is because it's narrow, they're not crossing from out wide. They're crossing from the edge of the penalty area. And it's so dangerous, this. Just got to hope that it works in the Premier League. This is an easy team. I think it will. Survival is what we have to do. We're going to lose a lot of games. But we only have to survive. That's all we have to do. Just keep battling. The lower line, the standard line, gives your defenders more time to deal with the ball when they get it, because their decisions are not good, their composure's not good, their first touch isn't good compared to other teams. And if they're being pressed, they're going to make mistakes. If you push them back a little bit, gives them more time to receive the ball and be a little bit better at distributing it. And that's why I'm playing with a standard line. Because they're simply not good enough to be pushing up into the opponent's half and be winning the ball up here. If they receive the ball here, they're going to be pressing and they're going to make mistakes. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. And hopefully we'll do that. But we're playing decently. They haven't played this tactic before. You can see again it came from the right-hand side. And these two are quite close together. The shadow striker and the winger are quite close together. Even though he's on a support role, he's higher up the pitch than the shadow striker. The shadow striker can work with him and with him. So we should be seeing a good passing network here, especially here. Should be a really good passing network over time. Still don't understand FM. It's one of the most complicated games you're going to come across. A balanced 4-4-2 with a mid-block. The mid-block works quite well this year. And the standard line is a perfect. If you don't have the best defence in the world, standard line is what you need to play with. Given everything, he's only been on the pitch for 40 minutes. But we'll do it. We'll replace him. Harry Clark has gone into midfield. He can't play in midfield, but I don't think it matters. Can he play in midfield? Well, he can. He's pretty good at it as well. He's not a centre mid on attack, though. But he can play in midfield. Boy, do I need to bring in some midfielders now. But when I've got a full team, I've got a pretty decent team here for a promoted team. If I can bring in 3 good midfielders, or 2 good midfielders and a winger, I've got a pretty decent team. A left winger would be good. Although Harness is leaving, so I might need someone who can play across as an attacking mid, but can also play as wingers. I'll have a pretty good team. Delap, of course, is overpowered in FM, and I'm allowed to sign him because he turned up in my scout list. He's actually overpowered in real life at the moment. He's doing really well, scoring a ton of goals. I'm quite impressed with Ipswich, to be fair. And I don't see United's draw at Ipswich as a bad result. I thought Ipswich were quite brilliant. I really did think Ipswich played really well. So I don't see that 1-1 draw as a bad result. Ipswich have had results against other teams. They beat Tottenham at Tottenham. And Delap is banging in goals. So he's not overpowered perhaps in FM. Again, it's come down from the right. And this tactic is brilliant. I love it. It's a switch pass that happens. It's absolutely superb. Not happy with the defence, really, because that was absolutely shocking. So let's do some... Who's this Roberts? He's tired as well. Have I actually got any midfielders here? He can play in centre mid. Harry Clark, probably better as a defensive mid. Although he's not a playmaker. I'm really struggling for midfielders. So let's... there's not a DM on the bench, is there? Not a DM to be seen. So we'll bring back Clark. I can't play him as a DLP. So I'm just going to play him as a defensive mid. Let's put him on support. Put him on support, and then we got to do something about this one. Taylor's actually okay. The midfield are actually quite fresh, so I won't worry about it too much. He's definitely not a deep-lying playmaker. Are they going to get another one? Nah, we'll cope with that. Easy. Here he is. He's, well, that's a pretty good start. That's his career as a DM. Another goal from the right. It's just incredible how many goals are scored from the right-hand side. That one's just a simple cross, though. Hurst is not that good. In the Premier League, he's going to struggle to do that. Okay, we don't need to see that. We take your word for it. No, but he's very dangerous. Hi, Damien. How you doing? Yeah, we got a long way to go. Oh, we got a penalty as well until the season starts. But we're going to have some big games. There's a couple of big games coming up. One of them is Benfica. So those are going to be interesting. These are just to build morale. And you can't rush the transfer window. And I really don't want to be skipping past things. I go quicker than most people. And somebody asked me the other day, why do you go through the transfer window so quickly? Because he stops and examines every single player that is recommended. I have to go quicker than that. And I've learned just to see quickly who's good and who's not so good. And then the idea is to shortlist them and not panic. What I'm doing here is looking at the tactic, which seems to be working quite well, and tweaking it. I've made one tweak and put the DM on a support duty. For me, this is really important stuff. I'm also going to now keep an eye on Harwood Bellis's positioning. In the Premier League, that's going to be really important, where your full-back is on this side. So I'm going to keep an eye on where his positioning is. At the moment, he's attacking because that right-hand side is the attacking side of the pitch, and that's why he's creating the overloads. But it's leaving two at the back with a defensive midfielder. And there he goes, he's off. And do I want... He's actually in a good position there. He's not attacking too much. It's the shadow striker who's coming into this area. So it's actually working quite nicely. I'm going to zoom out. Let's zoom out. There he is now. He's pretty high up the pitch. You can see we have two back. And he's high up the pitch, but he's... Because we are saying get back into position, then he can regroup from there much easier than perhaps from there. Do I want to make him an inverted fullback? Not at this stage, because he's not going too far forward. And in his head, defence is more important for him than attack. So it's just like looking at his positioning now. As we go forward, does he go too far forward and leave the defence isolated? So I now have one on cover. Oh no, there's none on cover. Leif Davis has gone. He's not interested in defending. He's gone as well. Look what's happened. If we turn the ball over, Premier League teams are going to eat that up. We've also lost all cover in front. So that's really what I need to focus on now as we get nearer. Because we will lose the ball in these areas and then suddenly find we only have two central defenders. So maybe it's not a good idea to play... where is he? Harry Clark. Maybe he... I thought he was a defensive midfield, wasn't he? We made him a DM. Perhaps it's not a good idea in the Prem to play him on a support duty, but to keep him back here. See, he's gone again. They're both going to... Yeah, they're all off. So it leaves the two central defenders on their own. And so what I'm going to do is just alter that and put him as a DM on defend. And now see how that changes the position that he works in. Is he going to stay and hold his position now? Still at the moment trying to figure out if he goes or stays. But he's there now in front of the DMs. And I think over time he'll get better and sit a lot closer to the central defenders. It will increase the space between him and the centre mid. So I might have to then keep the centre mid on support. It's going to cost us goals. But at least they will be close enough together. So that's what I'm looking at now. That I'm tweaking the tactic. Do I need to, if these two are too far apart, is there some way I can get him to hold his central position? I may need to change his role. Ask him to sit narrower. Oh, they've scored 10-2. What a strange result. They got round the back there, didn't they? He just raced round the back. But that, who is that? That's a central defender. That's because Leif Davis has gone missing, turned the ball over. And that's why it's important to have these two do a good job in front of that central defence. There's another one. This is going to be a cricket score. It's now 10-2 after 13 overs. Good Lord. And so this part of the season is very, very important to me. As I said at the beginning, don't panic. Be leisurely in this transfer window. You've got to get things right. Wes Burns is tired. Jason can come on here then. I don't have any midfielders. I can't take you off, Jack. Not yet. I might be able to later. But not yet. El Mohammadi. Let's who's this? Jack, I can't do anything about him. Howard Bellis. Really can't do anything about him either. Nothing I can do. I'm going to have to look at that because I'm very short at right back. There is a problem at right back I need to solve. It's one of the craziest scorelines this is going to be. Right, now, I'm in key highlights anyway. But I have found an issue with that midfield. There's a lot of different ways I can do it. I can push the line up, but that is going to leave me vulnerable down the flanks and with balls over the top. I can come into a mid-block. We're playing in a low block. I can't reduce the line of engagement, or I can work on just getting those two to be closer together. I just think it needs better players. And then once I've got better players in front, they'll know their jobs better. They're not quite close enough together. He needs to be a couple of yards closer to him. That's better. Now that looks better to me. Attacking wise, it's working perfectly. Down the left, switch to the right, ball into the box, goal. Never seen more than 9 goals. This is like we should be getting 20 against this team. Don't be fearful of playing these boys early in the season, because you need them morale up, and they need to get used to playing the way you want them. I've changed the style they're playing completely from last season, and they absolutely need to get used to attacking in this new style. Defending they'll learn later, but they have to get used to attacking, and they're doing a good job. We've got a couple of good players coming in soon, I hope. And that might help us out with the midfield. I think I've got... No, I've only got two in there. That's all I've got since Morsey left. I've only got Taylor and Luongo. These boys can see this game out now. They haven't had to run around too much. He is, I'm hoping, going to be a very good player. By the look of it, he likes to cut inside. But if he can do it, why not? Oh, yes! Was that a scissors kick? Have we finally seen one go in? Was that a scissors kick? Have we finally got one that's gone in? Shame it's not in the league. Take a close eye on this. Yes, it is. We've finally seen one go in. I have never seen one of those go in as a goal yet. And that is the first time. We've if you've been following me, we've seen so many that have not scored. Finally, we've seen one. I even trained Kamalo in the other save on doing bicycle kicks, but we still couldn't see one. And finally, we've got one going in. At last. Your keeper attempted one. That's awesome. Oh, I'd love to post that. What I'd love to do is to gather together somehow, I don't know how, people's like strange moments. But yay, we've seen a bicycle kick go in. He's come. Liam Delap is in. Still not letting my midfielders come in though, is it? And this is good because we're going into the new season with Delap, and he it's not a left back that I want, mister, or a left wing. It's a right back that I need. I need a right back. What have I got here? Let's go to my shortlist. No, I've focused on left backs. I need a right back. None. Interesting. Let's go to scouted players. Take that off. Right back. Need a very, very good right back to come in. Cheap. I like him cheap. He's a wing back, allegedly a wing back on attack, with crossing of 10 and dribbling of 9. Nah. No, we're not buying that one. Now that is a wing back on attack, for sure. But the problem is I need a full back on support on that side. £2.6 million. I think that she's found an absolute gem there. What do you think, boys? His mentals are good. His work rate is off the ball. Decisions are good. Concentration's about normal. His aggression is he's quite brave. He's very strong. He's just not very good in the air. But I think he can tackle. His marking is good. I think she's found an absolute gem there. So what's his weaknesses? Communication. Ah, there's the problem. He's not going to get a work permit. But I think we can still get him in on one of those ESC permits. So I'm going to go for it anyway. We're going to make an offer on this boy. I think she's found an absolute gem there. 41,000. We're not going to be able to do that yet. Committed spending 770. Oh, we're going to have to adjust it again. That'll do. Still, we've got 16 million left now. But we got our forward in on a loan, which is good. So now we can probably... Star player. Why not? We're really struggling there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's gone for that. I'll go for that. He will be good. She's found a little gem. I'll have to learn how to pronounce his name. And that will solve my right-hand side problems. Get in, if he comes. He is as good a first-time Premier League full-back on support that I've seen. It's very difficult to find players like that. What was the score? 13. 13 we scored, did we? The games are going to start to get harder now. We're out of that. We got Benfica next. So that is going to be a more difficult game. Oh, Benfica, huh? And that I need to play my first team against Benfica. And then we have Rapid Vienna afterwards. Oh, they're a good team. Absolutely brilliant team. So we are pitting ourselves against a pretty good team here now. So I want to set this team up with my best. What I think is my best 11. Harry Clark. And Scott McKenna. Is he right or left foot? Left foot. And at the moment, Howard Bellis is very tired. Twanzebe is unavailable. I don't know why. Liam Delap is unavailable. Oh, he's not in the squad. And Humphreys is still injured for up to 3 weeks. The best midfielder I have. Josh Tyman or Leif Davis? Leif Davis. Chaplin. Jason, but Burns is playing better than Jason at the moment. Can Jason play in central midfield? No, he can't. Chaplin, Broadhead, I think. That's why I need a left winger. Jason can play on the left wing though, can't he? Yeah, let's play Jason on the left wing. I don't think he should be playing as an inside forward, though. I think he's probably better on support. That'll probably suit him better. Harwood, Bellis, Matt Ward, Ladapo, Broadhead, Harness. Castiles plays. He goes on the bench. And then I guess it's Wolfenden. Or is it Burgess? Hard to say, really. I need to get my... Where is the... I'm sure... Was it... Yeah, it's Twanzebe. There is supposed to be another central defender. Interesting. Let's just try Burgess, who's tired. Same as Wolfenden. He's not tired. And then it's the midfield. Luongo and Taylor, it will have to be. We'll swap those over. And let's play him as a ball winner. We're going to need to have defensive cover in here. Not many attacking roles, only 3. And Burgess comes on the bench. And that's it. Let's go and play Benfica. And I don't think that we're going to get a very good result against Benfica, because the midfield is so poor. Unless they're totally unfit at the moment. Because we are quite fit. He likes this Vata, doesn't he? Means putting Jason back. Jason back as the and then Broadhead instead of on the left wing, which is how I had them in the beginning. He does like that Vata. Timon instead. Probably a good idea, because he needs to play, doesn't he? Now that he's come in here, he needs to play a bit. And then Vata. I prefer Chaplin. And Al-Hamadi does need a game. Fair play. And then just... I'll go with... No, Burns has been playing well. No, I'm the manager. Burns has been playing reasonably well. It's not a fit team that we've got going out there. We're getting a lot of centre-backs in, and we probably do need one more centre-back. He probably would be a good signing in a couple of years. Let's shortlist him. Probably would. Oh, we've got lots here. Don't need a goalkeeper. Don't need a fullback. Free. Has the mentals I want. Physical player. Let's shortlist him. I don't think I need to worry too much up front. I just need midfielders and defenders. He's made another offer for a left back. But I don't want a left back. I would make offers for right backs. Or fullbacks who can play either side. That's what I want. Benfica. This is not going to be easy. I want to go back to extended for this. Hi, Aaron. How are you doing? Good to see you. Borussia have signed Koulibaly. I couldn't afford him. Ah, here's a right back coming in. How come I didn't know about this? Garosabal. Oh, he's the one that I thought was brilliant. So, when's he coming? If he comes. I think we can use this ESC permits. 2.63 mil, 18th of July, tomorrow. After, of course, the Benfica game. Oh boy, this is going to be a really tough outing, isn't it? I'll just have to go with it because I don't have the cover in midfield, and it's no good pretending that I do. And isn't it strange how my best midfielder got injured? João Neves. Isn't it strange? Now they're going to be playing short passing, all that sort of stuff. And look, one of my midfielders is tired already. Who's Steve Johnston? Not a very good central midfielder. He's a box-to-box. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We'll start with that. João Neves, we need to tight mark him. We're not going to be able to do it, but we need to try. We've got nothing to lose here. But this will tell you now, which is why I want to go back to extended. When you play the big teams now, this will tell you how far, if at all, that you've gone with your tactic. It will also give you an idea of how the shape works out against a bigger team, and especially at the back. Is he going too far? Yes, he is. He's going way too far. He's leaving the two. She's done an excellent job, Damien. I trust her completely. And if you want to go and sign her name is Helena Costa. She's the best chief scout I've had in a while. I don't know if she's a regen. I don't think she can be, because this is like still season 2. And they are focusing down my right hand side. They're trying to get behind me. But we're holding out, and these two are decently close together. We don't want to give him any opportunities. Oh, hit the post. Yeah, so far we're holding our own, but we're not seeing many highlights, probably because we're just sitting deep and frustrating them. Broadhead is a little too far forward for my liking. But these two, there's a gap between them, but it's not huge. So this is a good indicator of how we are progressing, which actually at the moment isn't too bad. Oh, that's a lovely pass. Al-Hamadi is in. And he scored, and we are 1-up against Benfica. Get in. This team could do something in the Premier League. I'm telling you that for nothing. Look how close they are together now. I like this. Look how close they are together. That's perfect. They're working as a unit, which is really good. And they're not very good. So if we can get two very good midfielders in there, working as a unit. But the problem is that these boys are learning how to do it. I bring 2 new players in. They're going to have to learn how to do it as well. So which could take 6 games. That's a dangerous ball. Well defended. And that's the lower line made that happen. Go on, Burns, have a run, son. Look inside, look inside. Don't be a dipstick. Look inside. That's a nice pass. Unlucky. Burns has got himself injured, though. Oh, who's he? He's just skipped past everybody. Caught on the counter here. Keep your composure, boys. Nicely done. They are trying to get behind us, and we're not allowing them to do that. Nicely done, boys. Good block. But there's one or two dangerous players. No, I've tried it in League 2. That's as far down as I've gone. In the League 2 in England, which is the bottom of the professional leagues. 1, 2, tier 4, isn't it? But there's no reason why it won't work. They're very simple roles. You're not asking the players to do anything complicated. They're quite simple roles. It's not that one I want. Yes, it is. João Neves is the big problem, isn't he? Who is David Neres? He's playing on the wing. They are starting to come back into the game, and I don't like it. Where is Neres then? Yeah, let's type mark him as well. I don't like the way he's playing. Wait, don't want you now. Keep defending, boys. Keep defending well. I trust you. Well done. Pick up the ball now. Well done, boys. Well done. They're beating us. They're a better team than us, but we're just defending well. If I can get just a little bit less distance. I mean, I could put the centre mid on defend, and that would pull him back. But then that's for later on. But on the counter-attack, we have been a threat, and we've scored. And up to now, we have soaked up the pressure. Wes Burns is out on his feet. Jack Taylor's out on his feet. They have got a nice team, haven't they? Can I have their team? I'm very happy with the poor performance so far. Wes Burns is out on his feet. Vata will come in now. Jack Taylor has just about run himself into the ground, but he's got a little bit left in the tank, as have the others. Nobody needs a talking to. Maybe Connor Chaplin and Jack Taylor and Luongo. We need more from you, boys. Get it together. Just get it together, boys. Can you're the Vangelis, the tactic. It's available. The 41221 is already available. It's a video that I've done. There's an FM24 version. There's an FM23 version which still works. It's out there basically. You can go and download it. I'm going to be doing very soon. I'm going to be doing the 3 tactics I've used in the Journeyman, and the 41221 I used very early on in that Journeyman save. So that will be in that package as well. So it's out there. Go to the channel page Vangelis and look for it. It's there. Is it in the video description? Oh, that's cool. But always remember, like, even now I'm tweaking it for the team that I've got. You have to tweak it. You can't just load it up. I mean, I've got the 41221 came with a DLP. I haven't got one. So you have to tweak it to what you've got available. I'm going to tell them to stay on their feet. There's too many yellow cards. And we don't want to be giving João Neves. Chaplin is not playing very well. So what do I do with Harness? Can come in here. Broadhead is tired. There's not much I can do here. Can he play left wing? No, he can't. I thought he could. Al-Amadi can play left wing. And Hurst can go up top. God, this is hard. Steve Johnston or Matt Ward. It's not Matt Ward, he's a winger. Thought he was a midfielder for a minute. You can see how short we are in midfield. It's going to have to be Steve Johnston. Although Harry Clark did a very good job, didn't he, as the DM? Harwood Bellis, I think probably we can give him some time. Give Edmondson some time. And Leif Davis. It's just a case now of holding out. We've got 30 minutes, boys. They have pushed us back and back and back, but we've, with the standard line, we've held out. Their focus is now more down the middle. So they have changed the way they're playing. So I'm going to push the line up a little bit. Because they have now changed the way that they're playing and they're much more focused down the middle. And as another player, these two I need to worry about. So João Neves is already, and Neres is causing serious problems. So we need to tight mark him. Who's giving him the ball? Bar. This is tricky. And we're going to tight mark him as well. And I think Neves, I need to put someone on him. He's on their right hand side. He's never going to be able to do it. But I need him to follow him around if he can. No, we won't do that to him. Bless him. That would not be fair. We'll see what happens. Go on, Harness. You can do this. People also are afraid to use the regroup. Amarin is not afraid to use the regroup in real life. It shouldn't be something people are afraid to do. You're just not going to, when you lose the ball, you're not going to pressure them. That's all. And we've got good tight lines here with the higher line. Very tight lines. Getting in between those will be quite hard for them. But over the top might be easier. Especially as I've changed my defenders. getting behind. They're trying to go behind now again. They're very clever, Benfica, and they've done it. Okay, so maybe I'm going to go and drop the line again and let them go through the centre, because we can't give them that space out there. They were very clever then. They pulled my line forward, and then they went back outside. That was clever. I take my hat off to the manager who did that. But now I'm not going to allow you to do it. These two are a nightmare, and Bar, and I can't seem to do anything with them. I wish he'd take them off. How tired are they? How tired are they? They're not tired, so I can't even think like getting their face. We, though, are absolutely exhausted. I don't have... Hurst has only just come on. Jason's having a poor game. He's a winger for me, not a right back. And the sooner we get our right back in, the better. Hey, Mark, how are you doing? I mean, I'd say a 1-1 draw against Benfica would be good. I'd say a 3-1 defeat against Benfica would be good. I don't have a midfield at all. And so to be this close to them, there's another ball over the top which we didn't defend. Ah, that was poor. The balls over the top are coming now. And we can't deal with them. Sad. Oh, it was disallowed. So it's still 1-1. I don't have a replacement for you, Luongo. I've got no one who can come on. I've got absolutely no one. Right, okay. Harwood Bellis could play as the right back, which means Clark could go in as the ball winner. Do I have a central defender, Baggett or Cameron Burgess? That would work, wouldn't it? He can play. Clark can go in as the DM. And then, where was he? Cameron Burgess comes in as the central defender. That'll work. That'll work. Just need Clark to have another good game as the DM. Go on, Hursty. Oh, bad luck. Luongo, your last thing that you do. Nicely done. Hurst, little pass. It's not going to happen. There's a chance. Go on, Luongo. We got this. We can get another one. They're suffering. They're wilting. Little pass. Tries a shot instead. We almost got it. And there's only like 3 minutes to go. Isn't it like this game? Isn't it so interesting that I did something people are really scared of, putting the line to lower when I thought they'd gone 2-1 up. And then isn't it interesting how the game has changed the momentum? We're getting the highlights. Isn't that strange? I mean, don't be scared of playing with a lower line, playing with a low block. I mean, I think even if Benfica score now, we'll have done extremely well. Given that I don't have a midfield, and again, that's because the line is lower now and they're struggling to get behind. They're going to come at us. We've just got to hold out. Well done again. But, they've done it. No. And it is. Those two players have played exceptionally well, and I didn't deal with them. I couldn't deal with them, no matter what I did. But I'm still pleased. That was an exceptional performance. I desperately need to buy a midfield, as we can see. That was such a shame. We played really well. We held out for 91 minutes. But it was not to be. Come on, take him out. He's been a nightmare. All these players have been too good for us. Is it another one? No, it's a great save. They've been too good for us, sadly. George Hurst, what's he tired for? Oh, FM. Oops, this looks dangerous. Well blocked. Their wingers have played well against us. But we've actually given ourselves a lot of credit here today. But just goes to show how poor we are in midfield. Have I got somebody from midfield coming in? Yeah, I have. Come on. Oh, he's not coming in till the 1st of January 2025. Well, that was a waste of time. That was a complete waste of time. I don't want him coming in. So he's coming in as a really good defender. But what was that about? I've got to get a DM in. I've got to get 3 of them in. Can we get him on loan? He's a very, very good FM player. Is he available for loan? He certainly is. What's that going to amount to? 4 million over the year. We can afford that. We could afford that. And they just upped it. I accepted what they wanted. He's going to play as a defensive midfielder anyway. What is this nonsense? Now they've upped it to 300. Oh, they're playing silly buggers. That every time I make an offer, they're just upping it. Yeah, this is stupid. That's what I'm prepared to offer. Okay, cancel offer. That is FM stupidity at its highest. Stopping me doing it. Well, we don't need that. I can't bring an injured player in. It just didn't want me to have him. That's the game. That is stupidity. Every time I made an offer, they upped it to a stupid figure. Don't know about him. Can we get him on loan? Now he's a centre back, isn't he? Thought he was a DM for a minute. Yeah, unfortunately, Mark, he didn't get the 1-1 draw. Oh, it was so close. So close. You telling me there's like no DMs available? What is this game trying to do to me? Passing isn't good enough. No. Not a... Levitt, he is a good player, but he's a centre mid, isn't he? Yeah. He's not what I need. He's a goalkeeper. So you're telling me there are no DMs available? So to go through these, it take forever. I don't know what they are. Let's have a look at the short list. I could go to scouted midfielders. Zielinski. Probably going to be his wages is the problem. Let's offer him a trial. At least get somebody in to play in some games. Can't afford him. There's a deep line playmaker, but he can't tackle or mark. He's no good to me. Sosa we've bought, but he can't. Hayden Hackney will do a good job, but he's a bit pricey for what he is. So they're telling me there are no suitable DMs at the moment. Fine. We'll go with what we've got. It is telling me there's nothing available. Isn't that interesting? Poor vision. This is really weird. I've never come across this ever. In your first transfer window, you can't find a player to fit what your team wants to do. I've never come across this before. I mean, he's going to be good, but I don't think we're going to be able to afford him, or he's probably not going to want to come either. Flynn Downs. He's not what I'm looking for. Let's get a Russian in. Scout him. His vision is terrible. He's not what I'm looking for. Might have to start looking at players and bring in on the Never Never. He's young. Is he available for loan? He is. Same. Well, we're going to go through the same nonsense here. And is he good enough? No, he's not good enough. Is he available for loan? only with... Might get him at the end of the transfer window. There's just nothing available. I'll have to wait and just hope that she comes up with something. In the meantime, we just continue with 2 midfielders. Zielinski turned us down. In the meantime, we continue. If there's no players available, there's none available. And it will be very odd of the game to actually go through this transfer window with no, and leave me with no midfield. It'd be very odd. Especially in your first transfer window. Who is he? Oh, the fullback. I need him. I can't believe it would do that. It has to find players in that position that I need. It's my first transfer window. You can't do that to beginners. It would be totally unfair. And don't make me cheat. Don't make me take recommendations from people. She's found really good players in every position apart from where I want her to find them. Isn't that weird? So Jason can come up here. I think Delap... We'll try him out. The best defenders I have are probably Harwood Bellis and where is he? Disappeared. Oh no, he's still there. McKenna. So those, and then of course Leif Davis on the left hand side. So defensively I think we're good. I think we're pretty good defensively. Up in attack I think we're not bad either. Play him as an advanced forward, slightly higher up. So I think that we are only lacking in midfield. I just have not got anyone. And the best midfielder that I have is still out. Possibly... Possibly. I like a centre mid on support though because there's so many things you can edit for him. I mean, even from here you could make him a box to box. This is quite difficult. I mean, this is the easiest role. There's so many of centre mids, people that can play centre mid. It's really silly what's going on. Why I'm not allowed to sign a centre mid. Harwood Bellis can play centre mid, can't he? No, he can't. So I don't understand what's going on. Why the game has got the grumps and saying you can't have a DM. And why it's injured, pretty much the only decent DM that I've got. I don't understand this at all. Twanzabi can play as a DM, but he's not very good at it. He can play it. I'd probably like change it to an anchor. This is the weirdest thing. Okay, well, we just have to keep going. Maybe she's just going to suddenly find midfielders for me, I think. The attack doesn't need anything doing to it. The defence does not need anything doing now. I think up front, we've got decent attack. It's not going to score tons of goals. It's not going to score tons of goals at all. But we have two who can play in here. Harness could still get sold. Of 3 strikers. He can play as a winger, which is good news. Vatter, whom he seems to like, covers as well. Wes Burns covers on the wing. I have players who can cover all over the pitch. Even if I don't sign a left winger, I still have plenty of cover for 40 games. It's midfield. I just cannot get a midfielder. And I only have 13 million left. It's getting desperate now. They probably need at least 2. I don't know how we're going to do this. Where my playmaking has come from. Sometimes you don't have a playmaker in your team, and sometimes it's better not to. The save that I was just looking at that was sent to me by this by Darren, he had a DLP at the base of a 3 in midfield, and he's just simply not good enough to do it. And there was nobody good enough in his team for them to play as that focus of attack. Just simply nobody good enough. So sometimes it's better not to have one. And we are not good enough, I'm afraid. I did start with a playmaker. But this team is simply not good enough to just focus on one person to be the distributor, the quarterback. They just not got it. And sometimes, it's better to be without a playmaker. And then they're not looking for that one person in particular. You're still going to have players who make chances. There's still players who can pass the ball. I just don't want them focusing on one player who's not good enough to do it. That's the reasoning. And in that Nottingham Forest, Southampton save I've just been looking at, I took his playmaker out. I changed the focus of attack by putting in an attack in mid instead of a defensive mid. And it seems to be doing a lot better than what it was doing at the time. It's not perfect because he, again, doesn't have the quality of players in his team. But it's as good as it's going to get. And sometimes a playmaker, you don't have to have a playmaker. Players can still pass the ball. And it's just, you're just saying, I don't want to focus on one particular player. And there's nobody in my squad who can do it. Nobody in my squad who can do it. It's just a bit sad. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody who can... Who? Well, yes, I'd like to have a left winger. But I don't know anything about him. How much have you bid for him? 2 million. He's not good enough. No, we don't want him. I don't want him. He's not good enough. Offer made for Sushek. He's the one I just... I just cancelled. They're throwing centre-backs at me. I don't want any more centre-backs. I've got 4 good centre-backs. Or at least 3 anyway. 1 can play-ish. I play with no playmakers very often. Yeah, I think that if I'm really looking for a playmaker, because what I'd really like is this to be a DLP. This is what I want, is that to be a DLP. He would then receive the ball from these guys, and then he distributes the ball. And when this tactic works really well with a good DLP here, he's distributing the ball all over the place. But we just don't have one at the moment who's good enough. Even the one who's injured, he is not good enough. He's average. He's not good enough to be a DLP. I'd like him to come back from injury quickly, if he could, because he's better than these 2. Could you stay? Is he in my squad? He's not. Is he in my squad? Could you stay? Is he an Ipswich player? I haven't come across him. Sometimes I'll play with a wide playmaker. Very often, this in a 4-4-2, very often, this is a good player to have as a wide playmaker. He can distribute in all sorts of directions. So very often, this works in this tactic. At the moment, we're just playing wingers. Which he seems to like. He does like to cut inside. And I wonder if that's a trait that he has. No, just shoots with power. Watching him, he did like to cut inside, which is fine. Cutting inside is going to cause problems. Especially then if he's moving into the channels. So that's fine. I just want to find, please, FM, if you can find me a DM, I'd be very grateful. And even just a good 15-15 playmaker would be really lovely. But he needs to be able to tackle, and he needs to be able to mark, at least to a reasonable standard. What's in this bunch? A striker, don't need one. Striker, don't need one. I mean, I think they should tell you what position they play. Central defender, I might need one, but no, don't have the money anymore. Central defender, I'm getting central defenders thrown at me. Goalkeeper, don't need one. Left winger would be nice, but can't do it at the moment till I get my midfield sorted out. It's going to make me, in the end, get central midfielders in who are not good enough. I see what you're doing, FM. He's nowhere near good enough. Yeah, wingers would be good, but got no money for wingers at the moment. This is annoying. It's very annoying. Oh, where's that going to be fitted in then? Yeah, we can go for that. It's 7 days. Probably fit another one in. But I am struggling here. What on earth do we do? Money is tight. I'm going to have to go on the Never Never. We look at these 11 million ones. I really don't want to buy Tom Davis. He's not good enough. And look at the price of him. He would be okay, but his vision is poor. Tackling is good, but he can't mark. You can get the player you're going to sign in January right now. Really? How do you do that then? Can't see how I'm going to do that. Tell me how I do that. I've never used that at all. He's already signed for us, so I can't approach to sign. I don't know how to do that, Carla, to be fair. Hi, Robert. How you doing, my friend? I have to pay a fee. Well, somebody guide me through that. I've never come across that before, ever used it before. There doesn't seem... Where can I go and do that? So how do I do that? I know you're saying I can do that. I do want to have a look at the clauses. There's nothing, no money in the bank. Nothing I can do converting these. Oh, 82,000. 52,000. It's not really going to do anything. Morrissey's got nothing. No, we can't. There's nothing to come in. On the news screen. Where the heck is the news screen? On this screen. I don't know if you're going to find anything there. I have no idea. Transfers in, that just doesn't... I've got his contract, and that's it. There's no buy now. No buy now there. Hi D-Law, how you doing? Sweden. That would be interesting. Oh, okay, in the inbox, not the news screen, in the inbox. God, that's going back probably way too far now. Because this only extends back 3 weeks. He's been sat there. I mean, he's not the best I've ever seen. He's just like a squad player. But I'll take anybody. Ah, there. Set to sign for Ipswich. Sosa, right, so it's a little bit back before his work permit then. First of January, so we can't use him until the winter transfer window. Yeah, the mail probably goes back too far. Sassa's move. There he is again. So it would be after. I think it's probably too late now as well. So the work permit application, well, it doesn't tell me when. Oh, yeah, 13th of July. 12th of July. Here's the 13th of July. Set to sign for Ipswich. I've got nothing in here that says buy now. Sasa signing confirmed. Nothing. Yeah, probably disappears. But if I don't get a midfielder in, then this save is going in the bin because I'm just going to be destroyed. If I cannot get a midfielder in, I'm going to be destroyed. I've never seen the game do this before. Not allow you to sign particular positions. Harness, Vata. No, I'm going with my team, I'm afraid. I'm going with mine. Wes Burns probably needs to be on the bench, but he's really tired, needs a rest. So we're going with mine. Author, who's this now? Yeah, I know you want to bring in a winger, but we can't. If we don't have any midfielders, we can't bring in wingers. I'm sorry. We're going to have to get rid of that. Striker, not interested. We were doing this absolutely perfectly. One bit at a time. We knew the defence was weak. We've sorted the defence out. Left enough money for the midfield, and there just are no midfielders. We've got a Baggett in our side as well, haven't we? That's why I was getting confused. Yeah. Signed a new deal with Sheffield Wednesday. Oh no, what am I reading? Let's try and sell these boys again. And harness. I want to keep harness, but if I mean, Tom Davis might be all I can do in the end. But he's just not good enough. I don't want to accept players who are not good enough. You've got to find me players who are. Deep-lying playmaker who's got 14 and 13. He's not as good as Sosa. I like his Mentos, though. I like his tackling, and I like the fact that he can mark to a degree. He's strong. We might have to get him on the Never Never. That's weird. He is available for loan. He isn't interested in coming to Ipswich. Oh, for goodness sake. He doesn't want to come. There's two that have said they don't want to come, and they're not that great. I don't know who they think they are. No, you're making offers for the wrong thing. What I haven't tried yet is the director of football. What can you do? Oh my God. That's better. We need to scout him. Passing, vision's good. Tackling's good. Marking's good. Pace as well. But the only problem with these boys is that you will lose them for January. And then Jansen. Passing is reasonable, not great. See, there's no DLPs available. Let's try him again. And let's go loan. Flynn Downs. That's it. That's what you're offering me. Vision is poor. Scout him anyway. He's cheap. Scout him. He looks like a playmaker. Not a very good one, but I don't know. We keep going, and if they do not allow me to sign a defensive mid, then I'm just scrapping the save. I've never seen this in the first transfer window that a beginner would have to go through. I have never seen this behaviour. Never seen it. This should be a breeze, this transfer window. Should be an absolute breeze. And I often wonder if the game takes into account the fact that you've been playing for all this time. Because again, we use the same manager profile for every save we do. And it just knows you've been playing for a long, long time. I'm going to make it difficult for you. There's no way we can afford this boy. I'd love it if we could. But is he available for loan? No. I don't know how to do those. Hi Darren, how are you doing? Good to see you. How is Southampton going now? Has it made a difference? I mean, you weren't doing too bad with the tactic that you had. You were overachieving. And I'm just wondering if the tweaks the ideas I gave you are working. Let me know. Is it too attacking now? 30-year-old defensive mid. Vision 8 to 10. They're giving me rubbish here. Oh, and I can't see what position they play. You have to go through them all. That's what it's doing to me. I'll have to go through them all. That's why it's doing it. Have to go through them all to find a little gem. I don't know what... It doesn't tell me what position they are. He's a defender, isn't he? Central defender. Yeah, I mean, I just moved on. And did I draw or lose to Manchester? I drew 2-2 in the end. I managed to get a late winner. I just moved on a couple of games. I lost... no, I didn't. Yeah, I lost to Arsenal in the end. I drew against Chelsea, Tottenham and Villa. It was tough. It was tough. So I wouldn't... you can't expect too much of those players. These are all goalkeepers. And central defenders, another central defender. No, he's a DM. Just the price is too high. $45k. He's an option, but he's not very good. He's good enough, I guess. 14, 13. So he is an option as a playmaker. And he can tackle and mark. Good mentals. Physicals are good. He's very brave. Yeah, you definitely need... You're in the same boat as I am. You need to find good midfielders. And definitely an anchor. Check the transfer list for midfielder. Which transfer list? Oh, the transfer listed players. Well, he's an option. He's definitely an option. I've never come across this. Scouted players. And go defensive midfielders. Oh, where do you find that now? I've forgotten where you find that. Where is listed? Oh, God. Now the game is winding me up now. And it shouldn't do that. It shouldn't do that in your first season. So this as a beginner save now is starting not to work. And I think it's to do with the fact that the manager profile is what the game uses. Because I've never seen this before. It's usually throwing players at you at this stage. It wants you to have a team. It doesn't want you to stop playing at this stage. It wants you to have a team. Where can I do transfer listed? Oh, here we go. Transfer status listed. Loan status listed. Well, we ain't going to get him in. We know we tried. Those two we've tried and failed. I'm really thinking I should go for this boy. I think he looks better than any of the others. And I have to get someone in very quick. And I think that's going to be around about 5 million out of the transfer budget. I can pretty much just about afford that. I've got to get one in at least. Because these two are all I've got, and they're not very good. None of them. Is he coming back to fitness? 12 days still. And he's not very good either. But he's the best I've got. It's Ben Sheaffer, Coventry. But yeah, my scouts haven't found him. That's the problem with that. He always changes his mind if you go back in the dressing room. Oh, what have I got? I'm just getting confused here. He's now on a defend duty. I don't know how good this team are, so I'm going to keep him on a defend duty just in case. And then we can always change it. I think this team are fairly decent, if I remember setting up the friendlies. I think they're a similar level to us. Or might not be, I don't know. I can't remember now. Come on, boys. You've got to start winning again. Benfica was a good performance, but it was a defeat. Dominating possession. After this game, I'm just going to have to go through every single player that has been referred. And I'll do that off camera, because that's going to take forever. So far, so good. I think these are a decent team. But if I don't get a midfield, I ain't going to win any game. Not one game. And that's why if I don't get a midfield, if the game does that to me, I'm going to trash it. Because I can do that to the game. I've never seen this before at all. Normally in your first season, they are throwing players at you to make sure that you have a team. They want you to continue playing after season 1. Never seen this. You're not having a defensive midfield. You're not having a central midfield. I've actually never come across that before, ever. Not at the end of season 1. That's why there are levels in games, because they don't want you to stop playing after the first level. Any game starts easy and then gets harder as you progress. By the time you get to season 10, this game is mega hard. So why it's making it mega hard at the end of season 1, I don't know. Because most beginners coming to this transfer window would just say it's too hard and scrap it. That's not how games function. I mean, I'm used to that in like season 9, season 10. I'm used to it. But then by those seasons, I've usually got enough cover. And the interesting thing about this is the first thing it did was get Morsey upset. Now, Morsey's obviously, as everybody knows, the best defender for Ipswich. The first thing it did, as soon as the transfer window started, he got so upset and wanted to be sold. So it decimated the midfield right at the beginning. And then the next best midfield, it injured. There's something really weird going on here. And now it's not allowing me to sign midfielders. Something really weird going on here. Something very strange. And maybe it does want me to look through every single listed player until I find what I need, which I'm going to have to do off camera, boys, I'm afraid. Because that will take forever. I've never seen it do this before. It's weird. But at least we're back in winning ways. Our shots on target ratio, though, is not good, which tells me there's something wrong with the lines. And just give them that message. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have an exhausted midfield when I take a look. No, they're not too bad. Broadhead is rubbish. Delaps had a good game and scored on his debut. Do I want to change anything? I'm probably going to go into a mid-block. We're not getting enough shots on target. So let's push further up the pitch. We got one on target and scored. At least that's a good thing. I think we need to push further up the pitch. And maybe switch on, work the ball into the box. Try that. If you're not getting any shots on target, you can change that with adjusting the lines pretty much often. And there you go, we've just changed it. And it's just always look at this. It's like, if that's terrible, you just probably need to do something with your lines and it'll change it. And there we go. It's changed it. That part of the game is dead easy. The other parts are not easy. The parts you can't control are not easy. Injuries, transfers, you can't control those. They're not playing very well. Nobody has done anything. We've totally wiped them out of the game. Time to make some changes. 2-0 up. Broadhead is still not playing his best game. Mohammadi. I'd like to take you off, but I can't. Who's Matt Ward? He has played once there, hasn't he? And Johnston. They'll probably be okay. Twanzebe can come in for Luongo. And we'll have to play that Johnston. So nobody else can come back and do the job. It'll have to be him. I have no idea who he is. Connor Chaplin, Harness can come on. The boys up front have been working harder than the boys at the back, which tells me that they've done nothing. The opposition have been weak. which is interesting because they were listed as a similar rated team, and we've beaten them quite comfortably in the end. And nice to see the two centre mids are very close together now, and that's exactly what I want. You can see them sitting beautifully in front of the back two, and they're almost vertically in line, and that's exactly what I want to achieve. And now I'm going to have to bring in two unknown midfielders who've not trained in the system and are going to be all over the place. And I don't even know how good they're going to be. Thank you very much, FM. Thank you very much. There they are. They're just beautifully in a box. Finally, we've got to that shape that I wanted. So fair play to even Johnston. He's learned how to do it now. He's come out to tight mark his man. He's learned how to do it now. Fair play to him. He just picked up a yellow card there for nothing, did he? Or is he already on one? That was a nice goal. Ali Al-Hamadi. The defence has not been bothered. Jason is tired. Burns can come on then. Where is... Oh, I left him off the bench, didn't I? I left him off the bench. So Jason Vata is coming on. And Delap is tired. Delap is a little tired. I'll take a 3-0 win against this lot. They were rated as a similar team to us. Benfica were listed as a team better than us. But these are rated as a similar team to us. So I'll take that. See how they get back into shape. They don't press. Once he lost the ball, he ran back. That's what Amarin is struggling to teach United. Lose the ball. Don't just stand there shaking your head. That's when you've got the most work to do. Run back. Well, if I do manage to get a couple of midfielders in, am I going to have to go the whole season hoping that they don't get injuries? Because they'll have to play every game. I've got Humphreys who can deputise now and again. Humphreys in the Prem is not going to be the same as he was in the Championship. I'm going to rely on those two, Howard Bellis and Scott McKenna as well. Now tonight I'm going to be watching some footy. Premier League tonight, Neil. I'm going back on Sunday. Hurst did well for me last year. He was the top scorer last year. He had a lot of goals. 26 goals in the end. So I wanted to keep him, but I didn't want him to be the main striker. So I was quite happy with Hurst and felt like you've got to give him a chance. Right, Tyler Morton. I mean, he will be a good deep line playmaker, I reckon. And so, but the problem is he can't tackle, but he can mark. But beggars can't be choosers. I've got to get somebody in. I mean, I will have him and Humphreys then. Humphreys can play as the centre mid when he gets fit again. Let's just go on and see what's in the schedule then. Oh, there is a glitch here. Nothing until the 3rd. Do I need to put a little friendly in here? How fit are they? They're not too bad, are they? In fact, they're pretty good. So how many friendlies have we got left? Yeah, I do want to put one in here, don't I? If I can. Let's put one in there. And some similar reputation. Ooh, Standard Liège are there. Let's do Club Bruges. Don't know if we can, but worth a try. And then that'll give us another little friendly in there. And we need to see if we're going to get that Tyler Morton in on loan, and then how much. Yeah, I'd like a new contract. I'd love it, yeah. But I'd also like a DM. Can you find me a DM? Oh, the data hub doesn't function yet, does it? Until 3 games are done. Okay. I'm going to put you in the reserves. That's what I'm going to do. Right. You're going in the reserves. Well, this pre-season's done anyway. Harness, if you want to go, you're going to have to find yourself a club. Nobody wants you. Nobody likes you enough. You're not good enough. Oh. Why do I want to sell him? Probably need to keep hold of him. Why has Twanzebe been left out all the time? Is he out of contract? Yeah, he's out of contract. Maybe I need to offer him a contract. Expect to be one of the most noteworthy players. That's probably why I didn't offer him a contract. Encourage you to be more realistic. No, I just can't afford him at the moment. That's why he's out of contract. I cannot afford him. He's under 21, so that's fine. These... Oh, Delap has to come in, doesn't he? Ademi is going to be sold, isn't he? So now we can get Delap in. It's not a big deal at the moment. It's 23 grand a week. I think we're going to have to try and get that up a bit. 28. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 30 grand a week. Much better for me, sunshine. Oh, a DM. But not a very good one. Only sign him as a last resort. Well, at least he tried. It was a good try. There's Tyler Morton. Probably is going to be okay. Who's this one? Ryan Gould. I didn't spot that one. Extremely good vision. Can play as a DM, but we have no idea what he's like. I think he's probably good. His mentors are probably okay, but he's not very brave, so he'd have to be probably centre mid or attacking mid. He's not very strong. No, I don't like him. I actually don't like him. Probably be a good left winger. He's certainly not a DM. He's probably not a centre mid either. Probably attacking mid, and I can't afford to spend 5.8 million on someone I don't need. Because he's going to cost me 4 or 5 million. So we're getting down to the bare bones. Squad, yeah, I can't afford him, basically. End of story. And I've got Harwood Bellis in to replace him, so there's not much I can do except just let him go. And there's another DM gone then. Oh, this game. He's not training very well. You've got to do better. Broadhead the same. Right, I think... Oh, shut up. I think that I'm going to have to go... If he thinks 6.3 is good enough, he's got another thing coming. I'm going to have to go through every single player that they have sent to me. The problem is I can't see the positions that they play. When they give me the lists, I can't see the positions they play. That needs to be changed in FM because it winds me up. Now there's another DM who we know about. And we're scouting, but the only problem with these is that they will be going out. That's fine. He doesn't want to come anyway. They will be going out. If they're African, you lose them every other year. For a month in January. We've just done that, you nonsense, man. Oh, this is numbers now, is it? Oh, very, very nicely done. So this is going to be an absolute issue because he's not coming in before the Club Brugge game. So this is going to be really difficult. If I get a bit, I bet you. Oh, he's going to come in. So he's got to start playing straight away. Right, okay, so let's get him in the team. Club Brugge and Alves. He's got to play both of those games. Where is he? Where is he? Tyler Morton. So somebody needs to come out. Who is this guy? Our fullback. Do we need 3 goalkeepers? Probably not. There we go. Job done. So he needs to get in this time. It's like gets harder and harder this. So at least we've got someone on the bench who can play. Twanzabi, I don't know what you're doing there, son. I can't afford you. Timon will come in here. Now we've got the left back problem again. Oh, 2 important players injured, as usual. So now the question is, do I play the DLP on on defense or attack? I don't think he's a defensive midfielder. I think he's an attacking midfielder, so we have to play him as a DLP on support. And that means he can't ever go on an attack duty. Otherwise, it isolates my defense way too much. We'll see how that works in a minute. Who is he? A winger I don't know anything about. So in terms of finances, it hasn't actually hurt that much. We still got 12 million. So I still need to bring in another DM. And I still got 12 million. Who's he? A left back. Why do you keep doing left backs? I don't want a young left back. It's obsessed with left backs. We do have Sosa coming in January, so if we can survive to January, he'll be a good help. Who? Are we? This is my lone manager doing stuff. Who is he? Attacking mid. Why would I be looking for... No, I won't. No, we're not. I really don't see the point of bringing him in. We will need someone if Harness is sold. If Harness is not sold, then we don't need him. We'll play this last game. I'm really anxious. Now there's Premier League tonight, Neil. I'm going to watch Southampton Brighton tonight, isn't it? The local derby down there. So I'll be watching that tonight. And then nothing till Sunday night. So I've got a whole weekend of footy to look forward to. And well, supermarket and all sorts of stuff I've got to do. Laundry and maybe if I get time to start one of the new videos, which I'm planning to do and not having time to get around to. Would be a very good signing, this boy. He's a winger. I know you want to sign a winger. I know, yeah, another winger. I know you want to sign a winger. But unfortunately, I've got to look after the midfield. I've got wingers. Yeah, we can do that for you. Another winger. She really does want me to get a winger in, doesn't she? 36 million, you're having a laugh. Right, Club Brugge will be a tough old battle. Is Humphreys fit yet? 4 days. Luongo might be better suited than Taylor. Taylor's not bad, though. He's actually done well, Taylor, so we need to give him his chance. Jason Chaplin, Broadhead. I'm tempted to go Al-Hamadi instead of Broadhead. He played well, Al-Hamadi, last time out. My defence is looking stronger. It's not brilliant, but it's Premier League survival defence. I think it's just midfield is where we're lacking. I think Delap will score goals. We're just lacking a really good central midfielder and somebody who can play both. We are favourites, are we? We'll get out there and show us what we got then. I don't think we would be favourites, although we are at home. No problem, Mark. I'm absolutely having a great time. I'm like I've gone on way past what I normally do, I'm having a good time, even though it's a struggle and the whole thing is messy. And we'll just play this game through, and then I do have things I need to eat. I need to get something to eat, and then you guys can all get on with your games. And it's always a pleasure, Mark. That's what I'm saying. Always a pleasure. I like streaming. I love streaming. And it took me a year before I did it. I had the channel a year, and I was so scared to stream live. I thought I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm never going to be able to talk. Oh, come on. No wonder she was trying to get in left backs, because she knew this was going to happen. And I haven't got anything I can do because Leif Davis is injured as well, the other left back. That's why she knew this, didn't she? So I'll have to play Clark on that side. That's why she kept forcing left backs on me, because that's a big injury. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This should not be happening at the end of season 1. And I'm really thinking this is to do... The game doesn't see it as season 1. It sees it as a new save. And because I'm using the same manager profile, it's having the same level of difficulty as it would a season 10 save or I'm pretty convinced now the game works off your profile, and if you don't change it, then you're going, it's whatever save you open up is going to take off at the level that you're at. That's why I'm having these problems. You should never have these problems in season 1. Never had it. In fact, you've got so much choice normally at the end of season 1. It's so interesting, this. I wonder why it's doing it. Thanks, Darren, and I hope that you finish in the top 10. I think, as I said in the email, Darren, I think that I'd be hoping for a top 10 or 11th finish with that. The team's not great, but that would be extremely overachieving. Thanks for popping in, Darren. Really appreciate it. And hope everything works out for you at Southampton, mate. And get in. Grossibal gets his first goal for the club. Tyler Morton, how's he playing? Haven't seen much of him. What highlights are we in? Well, let's go back to extended. I want to see how he's playing. He's very deep. He's sitting very deep even though he's on a support duty. Oh, my light's gone again. So he is sitting very deep, but he's involved. The two of them are close together, so that's nice. A little bit far apart, but that's okay. It's because as a DLP now, he will wander around. And hopefully we'll find him in these areas as well. But it's looking good. No, we found very good scouts. It's the first thing we did, Mark, when we started the transfer window, was we brought in really good scouts. And they've started to pull in some really good players, as we've seen. Just not midfielders. That is something I'm really struggling to work out why. It's not that we are forbidden. We're even looking a specific category for midfielders, and they're still not finding them. That one's empty. It's like, come on. Are you telling me there's no midfielders? I mean, I might be reduced to that. I see that as kind of cheating the game. I see the game as a bit like a chess match, and there are rules to follow. And it's kind of like if you just go and pull in players, known players, I do kind of feel that is cheating a little bit. And I don't know if I'm right, but I normally only buy players that my scouts have found. And the scouts here are very good. I mean, certainly we can have a look at him. But I would see that. I mean, people play the game differently. I would see... I mean, I know of DMs. I played the game like for 9 months or whatever it is now, and 11 months, 12 months. And I know of how many good DMs are out there. But that's why I like my scouts to find them. And if they can't find them and they're very good scouts, then something is not right. There's something not quite happening here. And sometimes the game, like I say, it's a chess match and there are rules. Sometimes the game doesn't follow the rules. Sometimes the game breaks the rules. Like injuring the two left backs that I've got. I don't have any other ones. So the game breaks the rules, in my opinion. It just looks for weaknesses in your squad and picks on them. No, Darren, I've been playing since 2011. I've been playing this version for a year. So I know all the guys, all the defensive midfielders and all the wingers and all the strikers that people buy in. You should know them at this point. I mean, I see so many posts on Facebook. This is the wonder kid. This is the boy you should sign. But I don't want to just do that. And I think sometimes if you do that, you don't find your own players. And sometimes the joy of this game, like finding someone like Kamalo in my other save. If I was just signing players who I knew about, I would never have found him. And 15-year-old, and he just turned out to be the greatest. I've had to let him go now because he's not quite good enough for Champions League. So I've had to let him go. But those are the little gems that you find. And if you just keep bringing in players that are recommended, you never find those little gems. And I just loved and adored Kamalo. And there's something about finding your own. I found him in the under whatever it was at 15 years old and brought him into the first team. And he stayed there. He absolutely stayed there, and he then went to Brazil with me, and then he went to England with me. He was he was a gem that you find, and keep looking and you'll find them. And that's why I don't like just looking for players that I know that other people tell me are great, because I will never find those little gems then. And they are changing the match momentum. I wonder why. We need that back. He's doing all right, Morton. That's a nice little pass. Just got pulled out of position, Clark, didn't you? I don't want you closing down that much. Saw that happen in a game, was it last night? Yeah, Man United game where Martinez just went to close down someone like an absolute fool. And that's why they scored. He left a huge space. He's trying, he's getting there, but he did make a change after half-time. He's going to find that very difficult to do. Should have scored by. That was Morton, was it? Tyler Morton. And he's going to have an awful job to get them running back. He's going to, United don't regroup. They don't like it. Diallo is the same as Garnacho in my book. They both need to learn to pass. They're very selfish players. And that's poor Højlund. I mean, I would not want to be him because they hate him. They never pass to him. And the minute they started passing to him, and maybe they're having that drummed into them now, the minute they start passing to him, he scores goals. And he got 2 last night. And before, I mean, maybe in training they're being told, you pass the ball, this is a team. And they're still struggling with it because they're very selfish. And however, they did pass it last night and he scored 2. So maybe they'll learn from that, who knows. But I see both of them the same. They're very, very selfish players. But hopefully they'll come. I mean, I think he was trying to drum it into them that you have to pass the ball, boys. And who's this? Tyler Morton is tired already. But he's only just come to the club. So Luongo can come in there. And Harness for Chaplin. And Jack Taylor is tired. Who's the other one? There isn't another one, is there? It was Luongo. God help me. Well, we'll have to put Johnston on again. Oh boy. Where's Burns for Jason? My right back is gone now. What a mess this team is turning out to be. An absolute mess. Simply because it's just taking out key players. There's not much I can do. I can't control that. It's really weird what's going on. Jen Castrop. Yeah, they will find players, and maybe I won't be allowed to find them until right up until the point of the transfer window closing, and then they'll be falling out of the trees. It's like sometimes that's how FM works, and maybe I'm just going to need to be patient and sit on no more transfers until they arrive, because this is quite bizarre. Really quite bizarre, and every time I'd gone to loan someone, they were just increasing the amount every time I made an offer. It's bizarre, it's bonkers. Humphreys coming back will help, but I still need one more. Humphreys can play as a DLP, so I'd need a central midfielder, and they should be 2 a penny. Central midfielders are normally easy to find. And then, if I'm lucky, I probably need to get another full-back in who can play either side, because it seems to be picking on my full-backs again. It's just telling me you don't have enough. I really hope that Josh Tymon's injury is not that bad. Just paid a lot of money for him. Oh boy. It may be interesting to see what the injury is. Foot injury. A broken foot, he'd be out for months. That'll be nice. So I won't have so I'll only have back to only having Leif Davis. So the game's telling me you don't have enough. And if you don't get one, I'm just going to make sure you don't have any. That's what I'm being told. Olsen is a nuisance. So we need to do something about Olsen. We'll just type mark him then. He's having a good game, that boy. So at least we've got one DM in. I need a centre mid now, and then another full back. Hopefully who can play both sides. Oh, good save. And we've made some good signings. That is a very good goalkeeper. Howard Bellis is good. Scott McKenna's good. The new boy who's just come in is very good. Timon is very good. And Delap. We made some very good signings. We still need 2 more though. We'll get there. Still a month and a bit to go. I'd like some more goals though, but these are Club Bruges are not a bad outfit. They are a similar team to us, so we're still doing well even without a midfield. But you can't ever tell from pre-season. Yeah, well done. So where are my lines now? That's about right. I think we've got it about right now. You can see now the shape. That's absolutely beautiful. That's what it looks like on the map. They've got that shape beautiful now. The DLP sitting nicely in front, and the centre mid just goes further. There you go, just a little further up. And the DLP will sit in front. And hopefully he's good enough for them to find him and spray it about a bit. He's just sitting back. He's just there, not doing anything. The DLP's working nice. $40,000 for Harwood Bellis per week. For Twinsarby. Not sure that I can afford that. Just going to have to let him go in the end. I haven't got a left wing, Harry boy. You came on as a sub anyway. Haven't got a right back now because Harry Clark went over. God, talk about making this difficult for me. Just all I'm saying is I haven't got this, I haven't got that. Stop injuring my players. Nicely done. Quick counter-attack now. Score a goal and everybody will be happy. There it is, down the right again. It's always down the right. Score very few goals down the left unless you have a really good centre mid. Strangely enough. There it is. That's the third. If you have a very good centre mid, he sits in here sometimes and he's able to pass the ball that way, like a reverse pass. And if you get a really good one, I'm talking very, very good, sometimes you'll see goals scored like that. Absolutely ADHD. Train them to know the roles. Absolutely. If they're young enough, they can do it. The shape is good though now. I like the defensive shape that we've got. The lines are tight. You can see how close the lines are together. They ain't getting in between those. They're trying to look for space in between. But you're not getting it. It's really tough for them. But they have got behind. But he's blocked it. Nice job, boys. And he got behind because we've got a right back on the left. That's probably why. That's probably why. Right, referee? I think the referee's lost his whistle. I do like, I've played with 3 at the back in FM24. It does work nicely. Does work nicely. So, yeah, you can get some good results with that ADHD. No worries. And that's it. Comfortable. And in fact, they are a good team. A similar rated team to us. So that is a good sign going into the Prem, that we will get results against the lower half of the table teams. And that's all we need to survive. And I think that's pretty good. Time is out. 3 to 4 months. You are kidding me. You are kidding me. We spent a ton of money on him, and now we're back to having one left back. With no money left and no DMs. Marvellous. Okay, guys. Yeah, we can do it. We've only got to survive, Mark. And but if it keeps doing these things to me, it's going to be hard. Because now I've got to find a left back again who's really, really cheap. And I don't know if there is a left back out there who's really, really cheap, who doesn't want much playing time, who can cover for Leif Davis, who's going to have to play every game. You're right, Mercury. That is FM messing around. And like I said, it's like a chess match. This game is like, but sometimes the FM doesn't follow the rules. I like to follow the rules. I think it's a good thing to do. But I think sometimes FM doesn't follow the rules. Sometimes it has to break them because it's the only way it can beat you. It's just kind of sad. I need a young, good defender, don't I? Or someone who's willing to sit on the bench. Probably do the job of sitting on the bench. He's young. Well, he's not young. He's 24. I don't know. I'll have to go through all these as well as all the defensive mids. See what I can come up with. But I'll do that off camera. So you don't have to... you don't have to sit and suffer that. Is he in my list? Niall Huggins. Can't see a Niall Huggins. There's going to be someone in here. It's just a case of finding him. Jordan Hackett. Not quite good enough. He can play both sides. And he is 21. He might be just the guy. There's going to be someone in here. I'm looking mentals more than anything. Fullbacks and wingbacks don't normally have good mentals. Could also play as a winger in an absolute emergency. But he's 7 million. Firpo of Leeds. He could do it. But can only play one side. But depends on what he would want to be. He would want... provide competition for places. We could go with that. Firpo is decent. So we could go with that. And he would just be a squad player. In fact, I think we better make an offer for him. I can't keep going with one wing back for 4 months. Make the offer. 1.2 mil, I can afford that. The game, you're right, Mercury. The game is messing around. Breaking the rules. And it shouldn't do in your very first season. Okay, I'm gonna shoot off now. It's now 4 o'clock almost. I've been going for almost 4 hours. So I'm gonna go and get something to eat. And there you go, he's a squad player. And we can drop him down a little bit. Okay, we'll go with that. Finalize it. I mean, I have to bring him in because I can't go for 4 months with only one wing back. So I will. The season's coming up, Damien. The season will start in the next one. We've got one more friendly to play, and then we play Manchester City, and that's going to be a tough start. But I feel confident we might surprise Manchester City. Why not? We can do it. But I do need to get a couple more players in before then. I mean, I can always play it off camera until we get to Manchester City and then let you guys know. I do need to do some work in finding players. So, yeah, everybody enjoy your weekends. I hope you have a really, really good weekend. I'm looking forward to some footy on the weekend. And I'll be back on Sunday night streaming with the Newcastle save, which is going really well. But that also is messing around with me big time. And it would do. I'm in season 10 there. So, but it's going very well, and we are still unbeaten. 3 points for Ipswich on Saturday. I'm a fan of Ipswich. I like how they're playing. I think Delap is awesome. He's a big bully, and I like that. And he's willing to put himself about. Yeah, I like Ipswich. So good luck for Ipswich too. Thanks, Mercury. I shall see you guys on Monday. We'll be back on Monday to finish off the transfer window, get stuck into the season. I don't know about you, but I do feel confident. If the game's messing me about, it might not mess me about when the games come round. So, I will see you on Monday for the beginning of the season. Thanks, Guy. Have a great time today. I've gone 4 hours. It's been an absolutely great time. Thanks for coming. See you soon.